walk through one of the more fun aspects of Revit where we're actually going to paint some walls and kind of do a little custom material kind of on walls in different areas of our house. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the visibility graphics and select edit. We're going to stay here in the 3D view. We're going to turn off the ceilings and we're going to go ahead and turn off the roofs. And while we're here, just to make this a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and hide these little portions. I'm going to hold Control, select both of them, select hide and view elements. And what we're going to do is just demonstrate how we can start to do some painting of walls. To get started, I'm going to go to the Manage tab, and I'm going to go to the Manage Materials. So any kind of material you can create brand new. I do have some paint materials. So if I search for paint, I'm going to be able to see there's some different ones from different projects and things I've loaded. Here's ones that I've created with red and blue. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll just go down here, select Create New Material. This is called Default New Material. Not a lot of things need to be changed, but maybe I've got red and blue. Maybe I'll put Paint Orange. And then in the classification, we can always choose Paint. And then in Graphics, I usually select Use Render Appearance. And then in the appearance, on the color, I'll actually pick what color. So in this case, that's kind of what we're looking for. I believe I did orange on this one, so I'll just select OK. Again, let's check that. Yep. And, you can always choose and adjust like what kind of, how deep the orange color is. Maybe I'll go a little darker on this and just select OK. And what I'm going to do is just select OK. So once you set up materials, it's pretty easy to kind of do that with just paint colors. You can also do it by adding in pictures of materials and things like that and kind of play around with it. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the Modify tab and I'm going to go into this option, which is called Paint. Applies that material. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. I'm going to choose the orange paint, and on my wall here, I'm just going to pick it. You can see it colors the entire wall there orange. And that's kind of what we have going on. I'm going to go ahead and select blue. And if you pick this other wall here, it's going to apply a blue paint. Awful color scheme for a home, but this is what we're going to kind of just show to demo. So you can kind of do some of those little things. You're going to notice like both, since this wall was continuous, both of these, even though they're two separate areas, are going to be colored the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, and there's an option up here called Split Face, which can be used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this wall, and then I'm just going to use the line tool. And maybe right here at the corner, you can kind of see this faint orange line here. I'm going to go ahead and click and draw that line straight down. And I'm going to click the green check mark. What we're going to see here is that split line. Now, when I go to apply a paint surface, let's go ahead and do red here. Now I can pick just this one, and it only does red for that particular wall section. All right. So again, that's just one of those things that you can kind of do. Here's another option. If you don't like the paint, you can click the little drop down arrow. You can select Remove Paint. Select the walls, and it goes back to the regular gypsum wall color once it's highlighted. And there we go. Another really cool feature of this, of using the split, this split face option and being able to do that, is I'm going to go ahead and move to the level 1 floor plan. And just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and grab a section view. I'm going to kind of run it down through this portion. And if you have section views turned off like me, I can always go into Edit Graphics, Annotation Categories, go to the S's, and make sure Sections. So that's kind of what we have going on there. So looks like I might have a few things. Let's turn on my light bulb. There we go. Let me right click on this and unhide in view elements, or even category. Let's do that. And then I'll turn the light bulb off. There we go. Here's my section view. I'm going to right click on it and select go to view. And the neat part about this is if I change this over to a realistic setting, let's say I want to add like a little backsplash on this of like tile. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that split face portion. I'm going to select the wall, which usually is kind of hard to see in the section view. You can kind of see it kind of phasing out. There you go. And you can always go into 3D view and select it and then come in here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rectangle tool and I'm going to zoom in, and I want to go ahead and I want to split this portion so that way it's just everything underneath here. And I'm going to make sure I'm just inside of the cabinets. Let's see how we do here. I'm going to hit the green check mark. So it doesn't look like anything really happens, but if I go to the 3D view, is now when I go to apply the paint, there's actually a tile material in here. So there we go. And if I select it, and then if I pick this area, I can actually add like a backsplash to it. So, and that's kind of the cool part. Any other materials that are loaded already in here can also be used. So you can see there's a lot of different other colors and things like that. It's all because I've added in some different stuff, but you can do the same thing. So like here, even a chrome, I can add that in on the wall. You'll see it definitely, adds a little bit more interest to my walls. Again, not exactly how I would do my house, but it's just kind of how it does. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove the paint on that. But even here, you can see there's the backsplash being applied if you wish. And if I go into the section view, I can see it is all applied there too. So the really neat part is also being able to just go into level 1. I'm gonna go ahead, and since I've got all my sections already pretty much, I got what I needed out of them. I'm gonna go ahead and say okay. And I'm gonna drop a camera into the kitchen and everything here. So here I can see, especially on the inside, there might be some things I need to kind of clean up a little bit, but I think it's going to look pretty good. So like, for example, I've got a room separator line there. I can just right click on that and select hide and view elements just to clean this up. Looks like from that second wall, I'm going to select it and choose attach base, and then choose the ceiling. That'll kind of clean that up a little bit. And then when I get into realistic view, there's where the inside of my home kind of looks like with that tile backsplash and some of the other aspects. So you can always open up the crop region. We could render this too. You can see there's some of the recessed can lights at the top that we can use as part of this. And there we go. So again, really neat features that you can do and just have a little fun with, but allows you to kind of play around with painting surfaces, creating new materials, and applying them in your affordable home project.